first time I knew about Lenny as a producer of somebody else. So I wanted to listen to music, and I just loved Mean Sleep. I thought the words were just right on and feel that it must be heard. It was originally written by Lenny Kravitz and Cree Summer. They got co-writing credits. And it was also a duet on Cree Summer's album. And it was just the typical song that was lost in the shuffle.
Doing Mean Sleep was interesting because although it was a cover, a Lenny Kravitz tune on a Cree Summers album, it wasn't a big hit, so we kind of left a lot of the original feeling intact. It was a duet. Ellie sings the whole thing. But there are little departures, but it's very much in the spirit of the original. And a lot of people haven't heard it, so it's going to be new to a lot of ears.
It's a really well-written song, and it's really fun to play. It's one of those songs that you're like, God, why couldn't I write this song? It's easy to play, and yeah, I think we kill it.
It's been great doing that song live on stage because it's got a certain kind of power, a quiet kind of power, not just this kind of, rage or, outburst kind of power. It's got that solemn, simmering kind of power to it. So singing that on stage is kind of going from the inside out.
I enjoy playing Mean Sleep. I play a B3 organ part on there, so it's a little bit more bluesy, and it's kind of got that flavor to it. Where I play a lot of road stuff on some of the other songs, the B3 things add some nice grit.
Mean Sleep is a song which already had a great part on it, but what actually I did is I personalized it and I utilized the bass part I was playing to what was happening with the vocals and stuff. So I actually accentuate what they're doing more than just locking in with the groove of what the drummer's doing, and that was my little twist on what was already there.
The Spanish song I did with Ellie came about through a classical guitar kind of a loop I had, and she felt it fit. And I play classical, so I had a lot of those kind of beats to offer her that sounded kind of romantic and Mediterranean. And that one fit, and she took it from there off the loop I gave her.
No Marcela Pena's, it's a cool tune. I think it's almost campy in a way, the way she does it. Whenever I hear Spanish, it brings me back, to Miami.
Singing in Spanish sort of allows you to create a different character. I'm dramatic in real life already as a singer-songwriter, but being able to sing in Spanish really allows me to tap into that passionate, dramatic element.
That's another great song. Get to sing that a little bit of Spanish. I have a little choreography in that too, a little Latin thing in that, but that shows the feminine, strong, Latin, cultural, ethnic woman side of Ellie Van.
The Spanish song for me was all about passion, the Spanish passion, and not in the fire, but in the sensitivity of the Spanish passion. There again, that sensitivity thing.
I think that the Mint has, in my opinion, international repute. All sorts of people have played here, Chaka Khan and the Rolling Stones, and it's just a great live venue. I just thought it would be an appropriate spot. It's the only spot in Los Angeles like it.
There was a lot of energy the first time we played here. It was good energy. I think there were a couple of other bands, and we came on strong, and it was one of the first times we had played, so it was great to see what we could do.
I had played the Mint with Angus quite a few times a couple years ago, with him and Bernard Fowler and Ivan Neville, the Big Beat Sundays that they had. I was the sub for the drummer, Alvino Bennett, and that's initially how I hooked up with Angus and those guys, and yeah, those were some crazy nights.
Well, I just moved back from Europe in 2000 into Chicago and was in town for about 2 months before a friend of mine from LA called me, brought me out here to LA to play on this television show, The King of Queens. And after that, I'd been out here a couple of months in LA trying to figure out what I was going to do other than just play on television shows. So I devised this program that we were going to put this variety show of musicians together on Pico. And from there, we were borrowing equipment from this place. to do those gigs. I mean, the owner one day walked up on me and said, yo, why are you doing your thing down there and renting the gear and all this stuff? You could do your stuff at our club. And that's how I came into the Mint.
I think when you do a live anything, a live performance, a live recording, you get the real essence of an artist, the real essence of a person. You can't fake it. It's not pretend. It's not made up. It's not contrived. It's just the real. You catch who the artist really is. You catch the real emotion. You catch the real essence of the person.
When you are participating in a live show, you really have the opportunity to to really give it your best in that, in those moments. It's really the moments that are so important. You can't take them back. Once the moment is gone, it is gone. And so it's really challenging and it's really exciting and, and really powerful potentially. So I really wanted to capture that. I feel real fortunate that I've been working with musicians who really have musical integrity and who really have helped to elevate, in my opinion, my music and my melody and just my musicianship. So I think the live recording is really where it's at because, it's all or nothing.
Everybody in the band is very good at what they do. And when you get a group of people like that, it doesn't take much for things to go to the next level. My big draw to the band initially was Angus Thomas. He's like a really big influence of mine.
I got a long ass fucking history, man. Basically, just play with a bunch of badass motherfuckers that don't really put up with too much shit, From Miles Davis to Buddy Miles to John Mayall to Albert King, and my history has led me through so many different kind of old style cats that I got my roots are in that kind of thing, And even though when I went to Europe and did a lot of techno dance stuff and taught, even though I was teaching in Europe, all I was teaching was basic style of how to play, simple and so funky, believe in every note and everything you're doing,
I grew up in LA. I wasn't born here. I'm from the East Coast, but spent my formative years here. I grew up in a family that was the head of the household was a longtime music person, producing, writing. My dad started as a doo-wop singer. We lived in many places because of his jobs. Worked in different areas and different companies in Motown and the Brill Building and Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Since I've come out here, I've worked with, Coolio and Jessica Simpson and Taylor Dane and Jennifer Lopez and Kenny Lattimore. So it's this, it's been this very kind of a wide variety of artists.
I had been singing backup for Bette Midler and also singing with my own band for a while. So she needed a backup singer, and Ellie's a really cool person. When I first met her, I thought we'll have great fun on stage. So it turned out well.
You could put a bunch of musicians together that are good at what they do, and it's going to be good on some level. But after that initial, wow, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do and it's happening, then everybody's personality kind of seeps into it. And it becomes something unique unto itself, and I think that's where we're at right now.
Preparing for this, I think our band's been able to really grow together, and we're really defining what groovetonics is as a genre. And I feel like the future's bright, and the best is yet to come.